Today we are in the secret design studio in Wolfsburg, Germany, VW headquarters. And usually in this place, the board gets the design models and says, all good or nay. And here we have the Phaeton D2 or the Phaeton D for the D segment and D2 for the second generation. This car was supposed to be put in series production, but then came Dieselgate and also the focus on the electrification, and then this one here was cancelled. But it was supposed to be the next luxury sedan by Volkswagen. You can see it has, from the front, definitely something of the predecessor, but looks sleeker and more modern, and really a timeless design when you think that this model here is from 2014. Would you like to see this luxury sedan here in series production? Then tell me in the comments right now. Autogefühl with Thomas here, and let's take a look here, because 5 meters 20 and 205 inches, this is the luxury segment. And you can see here in the side profile, this is unmistakably the Phaeton, this C-pillar here. You can see it in the predecessor, but even here right now. Very simple but sleek design lines, and this is also platform-wise an Audi A8, so to speak, the luxury VW sedan. And soon, when we take a look at the interior, you see there are still some design elements we see in nowadays cars. 21-inch wheels here in this chrome, very shiny design. So indeed, a very timeless design for this vehicle. Would you rather take this one here or the Audi A8? And speaking of the A8, if you come into the rear, you can also see that this car has influenced some other vehicles, because in the rear, you could see, when you would hide this VW logo right here, you could think, is this an Audi A8? Definitely has something of the design right here, doesn't it? The final model was even supposed to be longer than 5 meters 30 or more than 209 inches, and was especially thought out for chauffeur markets like China, South Korea and also the US. As I said, on the MLB basis, the same as the Audi A8. And they thought about putting really big engines once again in that one, a V6 TDI, a V8 TDI, a V6 TSI, also as a plug-in hybrid, and also the W12. As for technology, they really would have had some really forward-looking technology in that one, literally. For example, a camera-based anti-roll or anti-tilt control. Then also on the interior, interesting assistance systems like an exit warner when you were sitting inside and want to get outside. Also a traffic light assist. We know that meanwhile from Mercedes that you have a camera image that shows you the traffic light actually in the camera, that you don't have to look for the traffic light outside. Then also automatic wireless charging for the plug-in hybrid. And really special at that time, tinted windows with electrochromatic function, so what we see in panoramic roofs nowadays on the side rear windows. Let's take a look at the interior and you'll be surprised, I can promise. Really heavy doors, and then you can see a lot of wood at the inside and a very classic understanding of luxury. And even more surprising, first of all, this wooden steering wheel, I like that feature actually. Of course, the style of the wood, maybe nowadays you would put it in a more, like, let's say, Scandinavian furniture, matte wood styling. But here, you can see the display. This is the InnoVision cockpit we know from the VW Touareg. So this was an element that was taken over them to the Touareg, and the Touareg became the flagship model. But at that point, this screen had to be even larger, and this was, of course, in this stage, the largest screen that was available in the whole corporation. So very interesting that we can see that from design models, something is being taken over to other models that made it actually. And it's not an unusual thing that designers do a specific models and then maybe it is not being used. And it's very rare that we can actually see this here. So it's the first time that VW is giving us access to a model that not came out. Take a look once more also at the middle console. This is once again a hand-built style. Nothing is really that functional, but we can see the cup holders and also the real big shifting lever. Seating position here is indeed very luxurious, so very good seat ergonomics, and I really like the wooden style of the steering wheel. So it feels really modern, although this is basically from the nowadays standpoint now an old vehicle. That's very interesting. Of course, a lot of capacitive buttons here. We're going to talk about these here very soon. with the head of design of Volkswagen, because, you know, I'm not a fan of capacitive buttons, but maybe he is. We'll find out very soon. And once again, digital instruments at that point was also quite rare, and this large screen, we know then from the Touareg, actually a good way to control it right here, because everything is just in your grasp, and also enough headroom. And I really like this, also my favorite feature here, this inner ceiling here, all done with Alcantara. That's really beautiful. Well, the seats at that point animal skin, but that would have been done nowadays also a little bit differently. No door closing sound test today, because you don't do it with design models. And this one here also has the soft close, and it's supposed to be for this luxury model. Let's move over to the rear, because this luxury sedan segment is of course all about the rear seating. Welcome, and this is how they thought the future of luxury at Volkswagen looks like. Once again, I think we could see that it did inspire the Audi A8, because when we would not see a logo, it could very well be an A8 at the rear. The bright styling of the interior itself, I think, really fitting. And the predecessor, by the way, of the Phaeton was very successful in China, because you could have a lot of luxury on the inside, but from the outside everything was rather subtle, and no one could really see that you spent so much money on your vehicle. Well, this is then the position you should actually be in. Of course, the seat here could be moved more forward. A lot of space, and really like this split roof here as well, panoramic roof. It's extremely comfortable. So indeed, if you wouldn't say like, hey, I need a certain badge or something, this could have been a very good luxury sedan. So I really would like to hear your opinion if you would like to have this luxury sedan from VW in series production. There might be now an all-electric version at some point. I don't know, maybe once again also with a Chinese market focus. But I would say, let's ask the head of design himself if that would be possible, if that would be something conceivable. And now we're joined by the man who did design this specific vehicle here, Klaus, head of Volkswagen Group Design. At that point, you were head of Volkswagen Brand Design, so just for the brand. Tell us more about this project here. How much passion did you put into this work, and how long did it take? Tell us more about the background.
Oh, quite some hard blood went into this project, into the Phaeton 2. You can imagine, yeah, to exceed the expectation, to create something that stands out and is even better was our aim, and to create the ultimate luxurious sedan, and that was a task, of course, also given by the management, by Dr. P himself. So we had a tough time then.
Why did you actually cancel this project, and how did you feel when the board says it's done?
Yeah, that was not an easy thing to do. It came with diesel, with the diesel crisis. It came with the move to electrification that I do embrace quite a bit. So from a strategic viewpoint, I thought it's the right thing to do. From my heart, of course, yeah, with all the work that the team spent into this product, and with all the thoughts that we had to bring out something that is so cool, that was not so easy. So some tears dropped.
Actually, how often does it happen that you do such a piece here, or that other designers from your team do that now, and that it's kind of like completely dropped? Is that really a usual thing, or how often does it happen?
Oh, that happens from time to time, and I would say it's also good, yeah, to reconsider, to rethink, and at a certain point to say, maybe not such a good idea. Let's focus on something else. This happens from time to time, and it's pretty natural in the industry. But this piece was outstanding and gorgeous. So tough.
What ideas? I mean, obviously the screen, yes, but any other design ideas or the spirit of this vehicle that was carried on to other vehicles?
You can see a lot of the elements in the Touareg. the InnoVision cockpit, a lot of materials, a lot of the design elements we transported, we brought to a tour rack, and they lifted the tour rack also up to a certain degree into a different class, and you can feel the perceived quality and the love that has gone into the tour rack, and it's kind of a remembrance of the Phaeton 2.
Well, I see a lot of viewers asking now, hey, I want to get one, Is it possible, or might there be, in the future some thoughts about bringing a big luxury sedan, maybe all electric or something?
I would say never. Let's see where digitalization, electrification, where mobility goes, where this transformation is taking us. At least I would say, and we proved it, Volkswagen is pretty capable of putting together an outstanding luxurious vehicle.
We see a lot of capacitive buttons here in this vehicle, and that has been a big topic also on our channel. And people always like, I incidentally pushed the cruise control, and then my ID4 went forward out of control, and I didn't know what's happening, and so on. So, are you critically thinking about the capacitive buttons, or is it say like, hey, we went into this direction now, and that's it, eat it, or what's your thought behind it?
My thought or my take on that is that you always have to rethink and to optimize. So if you have gone too far, then we need to reconsider. We need to take in the criticism and the wishes of our customers, right? We do stuff for customers, not for ourselves. So if the echo from the customer is better rethink that, then we will do.
He also has an Instagram channel, by the way, where he does some private sketching after customer feedback. That was very interesting. I found also, and being here in this great luxury sedan, this is of course more the classic approach. If you would do this model here today, again with all the input you have today, and everything that happened in between, what would you do differently? How would the car look like, and what would it feel like?
Yeah, maybe it will have no steering wheel anymore as we go or making big leaps forward to autonomous driving, and look into the ID Vision, the show car that we have displayed. That's already a huge step, a visionary car that shows how luxurious vehicles in the future could look like. Or take a look into the Audi Sphere concepts. They also show quite a bit of future luxury mobility.
We look all forward to that, and of course we will keep you updated. So check out the other videos we have on VW future or concept vehicles, or take a look over to the Audi concept he just mentioned. See you there. Thank you.
Bye.